Yo, it's Underground Rap News. We're here with SoPsyBands.
What up?
Before we get into it, make sure you guys don't forget to leave a like and a comment on this video to help show support, and also make sure you subscribe to stay tuned for future interviews. So before we get into this, why don't you give a quick introduction to yourself and list off a few of the biggest artists you've worked with for people who've never heard of you?
I'm SoPsyBands. I'm an audio engineer and producer, and I've been engineering for around 11 years. And the biggest artist I've worked with was SSG Kobe, Yapo JJ, and Jace.
All right. So, next question I'm going to ask you is, how did you come up with the name SoPsyBands, and what's the meaning behind it?
When I was, I want to say 14, 15, I took a lot of psychedelics and I
Mhm.
spent a lot of my money on it. So that's where that usually comes from. In the so in front of it, my name used to be Sosa, like Baby Sosa, because I was a big Chief Keef fan. So I just took the so and then added it to that.
Okay. So, how did you get into engineering, and or what made you decide that you want to start doing that?
So my dad was a big musician. Like he plays his guitar all the time. So when I was little, I always wanted to make music just like him. And I
Mhm.
started with making my own music. And then I got more into I want to make other people sound good. I want to like when somebody sends me something, I want them to get it and be like, wow, like I sound so good. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
so that's the route that I went to. And then when I was getting out of college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I went to college for that. And like I wanted to be more of a producer going into college. But the more I went into it, I ended up becoming an engineer.
Mhm. So, what would you say were some of the biggest challenges that you faced throughout your career, and how did you overcome them?
Um, the biggest challenges would be you always think that nobody's listening. I would say you think nobody's listening or there's no point to doing it, but then you always get those few people that hit you up and is like, I love what you're doing. I love, you know, all that. And then so it just keeps you going. But the biggest problem would be you think nobody's listening, but to all the artists out there, there's always somebody listening. That'd be what I would say.
Okay. So, what city are you from?
I'm originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the
Okay.
outskirts of it.
And how old are you right now?
I'm 19 years old.
Okay. So, what are some goals that you'd like to accomplish by the end of the year?
So I'm pushing out this SSG Kobe album. I'd love to hit a million on the
Mhm.
SSG Kobe album.
A million
Usually,
streams?
yeah, a million
All
streams off
right.
of that. It's 10 songs, so I'd like at least a mil. 100K on each would be great.
All right. So, how did you how did you end up getting that connection with SSG Kobe, and what's the story behind how you guys met and what made you decide to make this project together?
So if you're an artist, you probably have a DM from me. I DM everybody. I literally DM everybody. Anybody who has a blue check, no blue check, 100 plays, a million plays, you probably have a DM from me asking me to engineer for you. And SSG Kobe ended up answering me, and he didn't he didn't get the idea at first, but the more I pushed and pushed, I ended up getting into it, and he fucked with it, and we ended up making a connection, and I'm just lucky enough to actually have it on my platform as well now. So he allowed me to do that, which is great. So we'll be collabing. It'll be on my Spotify and his Spotify, which is great, which usually doesn't happen if you're working for an artist.
Mhm.
That doesn't usually happen, but I'm just glad that he let me put it on my channel as well.
All right. So, I know you also said that you've worked with Jace before. What's the story behind how you and him met?
So Jace, I was on his kick and I donated $500 for a hook, and yeah, so that was it, and that's how I made the I got the hook from it, and I gave it to my friend, and that's how that worked, and then I ended up getting in contact with him and engineering for him.
Okay. So, my next question for you is, who are the top three underground artists that you want to work with at some point in your career?
SoFago number one. I'm a big SoFago fan.
Mhm.
I've been tapped into Fago since early, but the other ones would be I haven't worked with Tana yet. I'd love to work with Tana. And Pay Gotti. I love Pay Gotti. I'd love to work with Pay Gotti.
So my next question for you is, are there any other underground artists right now that you think they need better engineering and you think that you could do a better job than their engineer?
Any of them, any engineer, I challenge. But
Are there
no,
any
I would.
examples of someone that's just like you think to yourself like, oh, their engineer's trash?
um Laser dim. Definitely laser dim. Even though he's his own engineer, I'd love to get a hold of his vocals.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So my next question for you is what would you say is the biggest thing that makes you different from other engineers?
Um, I would say that I would say that most of the music business is based around money and
Hmm.
all of that. And I just love the craft of it. So a lot of
Hmm.
artists, I'll do mixes for free and stuff like that. I know it's not very profitable, but everybody's so based around money. And I love the craft of doing it. So I'd say that's what makes me different.
All right. So my next question for you is out of all the songs that you've ever mixed before, what would you say is your personal favorite one to listen to?
I would say Changes by SSG Kobe,
All
which
right.
is it's unreleased, but it will be the first song on the album.
All right. So, my next question for you is, who are some other engineers that you've looked up to?
I've always looked up to Mike Dean, which I know is just a classical example, but also my friend Torian Martin. He's a great engineer. I went to college with him, and he's from the Virgin Islands, but I definitely look up to him.
All right. So, my next question for you is, a lot of engineers and producers that I talk to say that they feel like they don't really get as much credit as the artists do, and a lot of people don't actually even know who these engineers
Mm-hmm.
are, even when they've produced these songs that are going triple platinum. And I just want to know what's your thoughts on that. Do you think engineers deserve more credit, and what do you think can be done about that?
Oh, absolutely. Engineers deserve a lot more credit. Even producers get more
Hmm.
credit than the engineer. Um, and I think the most thing that we could do about it is all of us collectively, dropping music is under our own names as well. Like I'll give
Hmm.
an example of DJ Fat. DJ Fat drops his own music, and everybody goes and listens to DJ Fat when he's not even doing vocals. He's the one engineering it. And I would just say more of that because that would get your name out there even more. Just like that. And I don't know, engineers really have a bad rap. If
Hmm.
something goes wrong, they throw it on the engineer. If
Yeah,
something, you know what I mean? But definitely they don't gonna get the credit that we deserve for sure.
yeah. What would you say is the probably like the hardest part of being an engineer?
It's just the time, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Artists can go in there and do their vocals in 30 minutes. Producers, I don't want to say all producers, but
Hmm.
most producers can make a beat in 30 minutes, but engineering vocals takes a lot of time. And I'm not knocking other artists and producers because I know it takes a lot of talent, a lot of time, but
Yeah.
engineers definitely takes a lot longer.
Hmm. So, my next question for you is, who would you say are your top three favorite artists to listen to right now?
Right now, Chucky, I love Chucky. He's definitely different. Travis Scott's always up there just because of his impact, and then Sofega.
All right. So, my next question for you is, do you have any music hot takes or like what's the biggest controversial music opinion you have that probably no one else is going to agree with?
I don't like Young Thug. That's one that I get all the time. I don't like Young Thug, and everybody else around me likes him. I don't really like his music that much. I know he's the Atlanta pioneer, but
Hmm.
I really don't like Young Thug's music.
All right. So, my next question for you is, what are your thoughts on the current state of the underground? I know a lot of people have been talking about the originality crisis and how a lot of artists have been trying to copy each other's sounds and each
Oh
other's
yeah,
cadence and everything like that. What's your opinion on that?
it used to be Yeet. Now it's Netspend and Osama Sun. Once one artist makes a different sound, everybody clings onto it, sort of, and you just get a lot of oversaturation in
Hmm.
in the underground. And the only thing that you could do about it is just people need to start making more original music, really.
Yeah. All right. So, what are some of your hobbies outside of music?
I love skating. I'm a big skateboarder. And that's really it. I really eat, sleep, everything music. Like my life revolves around that.
All right. So, what are some of your favorite video games?
2K and college football.
All right.
Yeah, college football is definitely top though.
What's your favorite clothing brand right now?
Anything from Zoomies,
All right.
anything skate brand related. I'm not a big designer wear just because I think it's a waste of money. But
Mhm.
mm,
All right. What's your all-time favorite fast food restaurant?
Taco Bell.
All
I
right.
love Taco Bell. I get a grilled steak burrito, no sour cream, no rice, and a 3 soft taco meal.
Sure. All right. So my next question for you is, what's your number one biggest red flag in a girl?
Oh my god, I don't even know. Not supporting you, I would say.
All
If
right.
your girlfriend doesn't support you, then that's not the right one.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. So, my next question for you is, who do you think is the most slept on artist in the underground right now?
Ooh, that is a tough one. Mm, hold on, let me go on my playlist. That is a really tough one.
Just first name that comes to mind.
Um, I would say maybe Deucey Gold.
Hmm.
Deucey Gold only has 8,000 monthly right now. He's crazy.
Hmm. All right. So, my next question for you is, who do you think is the GOAT of rap right now?
Mhm. The goat of rap. Um, I want to say one like the original answer is always Tupac or Biggie, but I would say Lil Wayne definitely is one of my top just because of he literally, if it wasn't for Lil Wayne, we wouldn't have any of the underground.
Hmm.
That not even close. So I would say Lil Wayne.
All right. So, my final question that I have for you before we wrap this up is, what's the number one biggest piece of advice that you would give to other artists or engineers or anyone who's trying to be successful in the underground?
Absolutely. I would say like I said in before is just you think nobody's listening and then it makes you I want to say it makes you want to stop doing it. But the more that you do it and the more you put your mind to it, you're going to be able to accomplish whatever you want to do. So even if, and they always say, whatever you're doing when nobody's watching is the most important part. Because if you're still working hard and there's nobody there, you'll end up good.
For sure. All right, well, that's all we have today. Make sure y'all go check out his album with SSG Kobe dropping on the 23rd, right?
Yep, 23rd.
For sure. And make sure you guys leave a like and a comment to help show support. Don't forget to subscribe to stay tuned for future interviews. And thank you guys for watching.